Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped, something.
I wasn't expecting that either.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
Because then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny, I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things, of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
Okay. So where would you like to start?
I don't know, maybe the suicidal part.
Okay. How's that been showing up for you?
Well, it was okay when I was in the psych ward, and now that I'm back home, it was okay until my nephew came home and I got triggered. And last night I was just like, God, I really wish I could just end it. But I'm afraid if I tried, then I'd fail and get back in the psych ward. So.
Yeah. And is it mostly triggered with the family thing recently? The nephew?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's it like in or around your body when it comes up?
My chest feels tight. My neck and head feel tight. And I feel kind of like a prisoner in my own body.
Mm. And does it have messages? I'm just trying to distinguish that from the kind of tightness in the chest that I hear about just commonly with people or with myself. What, if there's other qualities about it that are make it a suicidal part?
Well, it's not like just a little tight. It's like my chest just totally wants to close and, pull my shoulders down. And
And how do you feel towards it when that feeling comes up or as you notice it?
sad.
You sad for it or sad about it? Sad?
For it.
Okay. And is that sadness for it come from, does it feel like it kind of comes from your head or from your heart kind of sadness? If that makes any sense.
I think from my heart. And I feel I feel really angry at my family for not being there for me in a way that is helpful and understanding and compassionate.
Yeah. Would you say that that's a separate feeling from the tight chest part, the anger?
I don't know. It feels connected. It feels the same.
Okay.
I feel so, misunderstood and abandoned, and just it makes me angry.
Yeah. And just so I'm clear, this is still about your current family that you're spending time with, not your family from childhood you're referring to.
Yeah. My current family.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my sister and my niece are trying, like they're being nice and trying to do things for me. But the part that really matters about my nephew, everybody is afraid to say anything to him. So we all walk on eggshells for the last, how many ever years. And now I finally speak up about needing some boundaries from his girlfriend.
Mm.
And then, my sister and niece throw me under the bus and they act like, no, we don't feel that way. I mean, he asked them when I had said it, and he's like, well, do you feel this way? Do you feel this way? And he's so aggressive. Like, I get that they're afraid of him. I mean, I've been afraid of him too, but I just I needed them. And now I'm being demonized and I don't feel safe.
Yeah. And about the safety thing, you talked about getting out of there for a while, you think?
Yeah.
Is that like is there more, well, what do I want to say? I guess just where are you in that thought process or planning process? Is that like definitely doing very soon, or on the fence, or where are you on that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm planning on going to a friend's today,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have to like do like wrap up some loose ends in the next couple days, and then so maybe like Monday or something. And that hurts me and makes me feel angry because it's my home and there are animals there, and I don't want to leave the animals and I don't want to leave my home, but it sucks that I feel like I have to. Just a lot of it is like childhood, being misunderstood and then being, demonized for that. And I mean, my dad actually called me Josepher.
Right.
My sister was like, I don't remember you being the evil one. I'm like, he literally nicknamed me Josepher.
Mm-hmm.
So it was never good enough, I could never. And so now I'm being punished just for using my voice and saying I need boundaries. And I said it in a very nice, vulnerable way.
Yeah.
And it took me like at least a week to figure out how to say it just right so that it wouldn't upset my nephew. And it still did. And him and his girlfriend like attacked me and criticized me and like I wanted to kill myself, and I haven't even heard from him. He doesn't even give a shit.
You mean since having the wanting to kill yourself, going to the psych ward, you haven't heard from him?
No. And that's why I got triggered last night, because he came home, didn't even say like hello to me.
Mm-hmm.
And they're out in the living room just laughing and having a good old time. And I don't feel safe to be out there because of his aggression towards me.
Yeah.
And it's just like I'm a fucking outsider in my own home,
Yeah.
And they're just having a good old time. Like I wasn't just suicidal and didn't just get out of the psych ward. Like, and even the night when it happened, I took off in the car and I had my plan, and I was going to, drive off a cliff or stuff something in the tailpipe. And I had 3-part plan. And I was like, well, maybe if I was driving around so much, I started to calm down. And I was like, well, maybe if I sleep in the back. And that's when I heard like your voice saying, oh, if we can learn to love all our parts. And I was like, oh, maybe this is just a part that's suicidal, and that like saved me. And I texted them to say, I was like, okay, I'm feeling better. And they were fucking asleep. Like, good thing that me being suicidal didn't inconvenience your sleep time,
Yeah.
Didn't even leave their fucking ringers on,
Yeah. That's tough. And I'm just curious, how did you end up in a psych ward? I mean, what got you to that? What got you there?
They had filed a missing persons report. And when I came home, they said, oh, the cops have to come over to just make sure you're alive.
Mm-hmm.
And so the cops came over, and I told them the truth because I thought they were just checking to see if I was alive. And they're like, oh, now that you're telling us you had a plan to kill yourself, we have to take you in. And then they put me in handcuffs and took me in the police car to the psych ward.
Mm. So of these parts, do you still feel like this is the part you want to target is this suicidal part? Does this feel like the one that needs your attention now?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see if you can deepen your access and invite it to a conversation and ask what it wants you to know.
She's like a little, almost like a dog that's been abused and is just like curled up in the corner and just scared. And if I try to get close to her, she's like lashing out because she's scared.
Yeah. And do you feel like you understand what she's scared about?
I think so.
Okay. See if you could just show her that, or show her that you want to understand, and as much as you do understand, just try to show her that.
Okay.
How's she reacting?
She's calming down. I picked her up and I'm holding her. She's starting to relax.
And is there more that she has to or wants to say about her experience, or how she's how she's feeling to help you understand?
Yeah. She's showing me my sister, and my dad manipulated all of us against each other. And my sister was mean to me. I was growing up. When we became teenagers and our parents got divorced, then she started being nice. But before that, she was, it wasn't her fault. I get that intellectually, but she was like another him, you know?
Yeah. And that was the experience of this part, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can just let that part know that you see that, and that you see that maybe even the difficulty or the other part that wants to intellectualize and say, well, it wasn't her fault. Maybe even just asking that part to step back and just being with that kind of raw experience of how it was for you as a child, for this part.
Okay. I'm sorry. Can you say that again? I got
It's all right.
just distracted.
I was kind of rambling.
Yeah, it wasn't your fault. There's just some noise outside. So.
I was just saying to be with the part, let it know that you see that. And I was also saying that the part that says, I know it wasn't her fault, that could be another part that makes it harder for this part to express itself. It might feel like it has, like, that's kind of another protector is saying, well, it's not her fault. But if that was the direct experience of this part, then just want to honor that and be with it directly.
Okay.
You could ask if there are other parts that have been hard on this part, that it might want you to address,
Okay. Yeah, there are parts that are, or a part, I don't know. that's like, just be normal. Don't be a baby.
Yeah.
Get over it. You're crazy.
Mm. And how do you react to that when you hear that part coming up with this scared part close to you?
Well, it sounds ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
What they're saying. That doesn't.
Yeah, so just let the part know that you see that part being hard on it. You see that it's unfair or that it's not right. What that other part's saying.
Okay. Yeah. She's like, yeah, it's not fair.
And how is her trust level with you right now?
It seems pretty good. It seems like she feels safe.
Great. You could ask if there's anything that she wants for you to do for her back in that time.
Okay. You mean as a child or as the recent?
Yeah, it could be either. I mean, any time that she's felt like she's been misunderstood and needs someone to be there for her.
Okay. Well, back then she wants me to protect her from my dad and my sister. And now I guess she just wants to feel safe. And she wishes it could be at home, but
Yeah.
I think she understands that can't happen right now.
And what would it look like for you to keep her safe from your dad and sister back then, for example? And is that something you can show her you doing in that time period.
Okay. I just imagine like putting this bubble around her, like bubble of light, so that whatever they say or do, it can't hurt her.
Yeah. How's she feel about that?
She likes it. She feels safe.
Good. I know you've gone back in time before and done some of this work, so I don't know if there's more to do or whatever she needs
Okay.
back then.
Yeah, she wants me to take her away from there.
Great. You can do that.
Okay.
Any place, any time.
She wants to be like in a cabin in the forest with no one around.
Okay. You can set that up. Go ahead and take her there.
Okay. Yeah, I put her, she's sitting in front of the fire and she likes that.
Just let her know that she doesn't ever have to go back. And you could ask, what it is, what else she might need from you to just be able to communicate. If she ever feels like she's going back there or anything.
Okay. Yeah, there was this homeless guy, a friend of mine, and I befriended last year. And we hung out with him on the beach, and he would sometimes say things that were, he had a lot of sexual trauma. So he would say things like sexual things that were triggering for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I would get upset and he didn't really understand. And then finally we came up with if he's saying something that's upsetting to me, I would say pickles, and then he would know to stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like that comes to mind a lot, like that I can, even if I guess it's just in my mind, but I guess preferably out loud, say pickles.
Sure. Yeah. You know, I see that a lot with a lot of really great parents who have they have their little secret language with their young children, especially.
Really?
Yeah, you know, when they're out in the playground or somewhere in the, you just have a special way of communicating it's not for the rest of the world to understand. It's for them.
That's cool. I can't imagine that.
Yeah. Well, you can imagine it right now
Okay.
with this part.
Yeah, I imagine saying pickles and then like this shield, like that bubble just comes over me and protects me.
You could ask if the part is ready to unload any of the feelings in its body,
Okay.
any negative feelings in or around its body, her body.
Okay. Yeah.
And where is she carrying that? And where would she and what would she like to give it up to?
It feels like it's all my muscles that feel tense, but especially for some reason, my legs and my shoulders. Shoulders make sense, but I don't know. Maybe I've just never been that connected to my legs.
And how would she like to give up those feelings?
And, like tense my muscles and kind of shake it off. Maybe scream a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Get her to do that until it's all out.
Okay. Okay.
How's she feeling?
Better, calmer, and less scared.
Would you like to bring in any of those other protectors, like the one that says you're being a baby, or the ones that, I don't know, any of the parts that are justifying, or
Yeah.
just let them see the work you're doing? And see if there's anything that they'd like to give up, or a different way that they'd like to, a different role they'd like.
Okay. Yeah, I think instead of criticizing and judging, they can, just like, I'm not finding the words, but kind of change their intention to um, being supportive and being on the lookout for triggers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That one that says you're being a baby, it's already very mindful of the triggers. It's just kind of attacking that part rather than, I guess, looking towards you and kind of helping you decide what to do next. What else do these parts need? Any of them?
I think just love and compassion. Not judging them for needing to leave home.
Yeah. And of course, I'm going to recommend having a daily practice around that, or a regular practice of checking in, especially with these younger parts, making sure that they're still feeling safe, that they're still feeling able to communicate with you, that they're still trusting you.
Okay.
You've been talking about using your voice in these situations where you felt abandoned, basically, or misunderstood. And I know it might not have had the outcome that you wanted, but I don't know. I think it's great that you did it. I mean, you planned to do it, and you found the strength to do it. You found that was, in our work and any other work you're doing, you found that as something that it was a self-led decision,
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
I think it's great.
Yeah, it does feel like I don't regret speaking up. And this was what I was afraid of, the reason I didn't speak up. But now it's almost like that door's open and I don't even want to go back,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, I hope that is the worst of that's behind you. I really hope that. You can call or text me anytime.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate you.
Won't bother me.
Okay. Yeah, I thought about texting you that night, but I knew you'd be asleep, so.
Yeah. We'll move you up to VIP list. It's okay. I mean, really, this is what I want to be doing, and it makes me really happy to be able to help in any way. So,
thank you.
Yeah, you can think of it as doing me a favor if you text me, text me and wake me up. That's all right. I'll be happy about it.
Okay.
Is there anything that, I don't know, anything that we should change or add or?
To our conversations?
To this conversation, just anything that you can think of that would be helpful.
Well, it does keep coming to mind. I like the idea that you mentioned. And I'd love to talk about it. I mean, not right now, because I'm kind of still in that
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
state. But like, maybe in the next few days or something.
Yeah. Great. Yeah, we'll look for all kinds of ways to. I'm open to anything. Open to discussing anything.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Be well, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Okay, talk soon.
All right, have a nice day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows? That might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube. And they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.